Hi, I'm Ryan Rastall, PGA professional and equipment expert here at Golfshake.com. We're at the stunning Amendoeira Resort in the Algarve in Portugal, and today I'm going to be giving you a tip on how you can strike your driver better. So strike with the driver is obviously a very important part of your golf game, and getting off the tee really sets the tone for a good game of golf. So a lot of the pupils I teach struggle with strike when it comes to driver, and there's a few reasons why, of which I'm going to touch on a couple right now. I always get asked, how high should I tee the ball when I'm hitting a driver, okay? So there is no right and wrong height. It would really come down to your technique. So I'm going to show you a way to try and help you find the best height for you to tee your driver. And the way I've done that is I've put some tape on the face of my driver here. So if you haven't got tape, you can use the foot spray that you can get there, which will obviously coat the face, but it really just shows where that strike is on the club face when you're hitting the ball. So it will give us some feedback as to, once you've hit sort of 5 or 6 shots, you'll see a little bit of a pattern on the face. You might not, it might be a little bit all over the place, and we'll go into that in a second. But generally, we'll find that with your technique, there'll be a place on the club face you're going to hit the ball more often, okay? So we can see if it's really high out the club face, potentially teeing the ball low is going to help. If it's really low, maybe we're hitting it too much on the way up. So maybe getting it a bit higher might help to move that strike more towards the middle of the club face. So I'm going to hit a shot for you now, and we're going to take a bit of a look at where I've struck it, okay? So just normal driver setup off your front foot there, and we're just going to hit one and see where we strike it. Okay, pretty good hit, but we can see on the face it's a little bit just towards the toe there, but it's passable. All right, we'll take it. It was a good shot. It's gone down the range nice and straight, and we're pretty happy with it. But more than anything, it's towards the center of the club face in terms of it's not low and it's not high, right? So we're kind of in the middle there. So we know we're hitting pretty close to the sweet spot of the driver. So now I've hit one off a tee that I'm comfortable with. I'm just going to tee it down a little bit just to see where that strike moves to. So I've moved it about 1/2 inch down. I've put a fresh piece of tape on the face, and let's hit a drive and let's see how that affects the strike, okay? I mean, the strike was good, the ball flight was decent, a little bit lower than I would expect, but we can see there that the strike has shifted down on the club face, yeah? So it's more towards the bottom of the golf club. Now, with club faces having, we call roll and bulge on the face, so basically when I hit it towards the bottom of the club, it means that, I mean, I've got an 8.5 degree driver here, but if I hit it towards the bottom of the club, that loft could be down to sort of 7.5, maybe even 7 degrees if I catch it low out the face, which is why we see the flight goes that little bit lower, which could be okay if you're playing in the wind, and that might be something you can employ, just teeing that ball down a little bit and help you. But if we're searching for the center of the club face, I know now that, yes, I've hit it fairly central in terms of between the heel and the toe. I've hit it in the middle of the face, but it's lower than I would normally expect it to be. So that shot there has gone significantly shorter than the one that hit out the middle of the face, but a slightly flatter flight. So if that's what you're after, that could be good in windy conditions. But I'm just going to tee one up again a bit higher and see if that strike moves now more towards the top of the club face, right? So this is higher than I would normally tee it, so we can see it's considerably higher than the top of the golf club. Let's hope I don't sky it. So the flight much higher, and we can see there it's really getting towards the crown of the golf club there as well. So still in the center in terms of between heel and toe, so it's still in there, but it's moved about 1/2 inch higher on the club face. So, and we could see that with the ball flight, it's much higher. It's probably stalled a little bit in the wind here as well. But that's telling me that I can actually see a little imprint of the tee on there as well. So that's telling me that I've teed that ball too high. All right, now downwind I may get away with that, but certainly on a day when there's a bit of breeze out there, that ball is just going to go nowhere. So I would really recommend playing around with the tee height when you practice to find where you can strike the middle of the club face a little bit more often. But also, custom fitting is really important with drivers, and particularly the length of shafts. Manufacturers tend to make drivers quite long in an attempt to help you hit them further, okay? Now, with that, you can sacrifice some of the accuracy, and the strike can tend to move across the face a little bit. So definitely get custom fitted for a driver. My driver is 44.5 inches long. Now, I'm 6'4", very tall guy generally, and you would think I would need a driver longer than standard. There is no standard, but 45 inches is kind of what we expect for a driver, but mine is shorter than that, purely because if I have it any longer, I can't keep it on the golf course, yeah? So having that little bit shorter shaft helps me to hit it that bit straighter, and also gets the strike more towards the centre of the face. So it's worth checking that as well. I hope you found that tip helpful. I hope it's something you're going to try before the 2020 season starts, and let me know if you start hitting your tee shots better.